Most people take turmeric and they never get the results they expect. And no, it's not about buying the most expensive supplement. And it's also not about just adding a pinch of black pepper or about any of the viral tricks or hacks you've seen online. Hi, I'm DOA. I'm a registered pharmacist with nearly 30 years of experience in healthcare, and I currently help people use natural therapies safely, intelligently, and correctly. If turmeric is part of your routine or you want it to be, this video will save you time, money, and frustration because you need to know the correct way to use it so your body can actually absorb its benefits. Otherwise, you're just going to be creating expensive urine. And here's the truth. Turmeric is powerful, but it's also one of the most misunderstood herbs in the wellness world. So let me show you the top mistakes most people make, what actually matters, and how to use turmeric, and the simple method that makes turmeric work the way it should. Because most people take the wrong form at the wrong time with the wrong expectations and without really understanding how turmeric actually works in the body. So if you've ever taken turmeric and felt nothing, it's not turmeric's fault. It's actually how people use it. You're not alone. The problem is not turmeric. It's how people use it. Most people fail with turmeric before they even start. And here are the three biggest mistakes I see every single day. Number one, relying solely on capsules and buying the cheapest supplement. Now, hear me out. High quality supplements can be effective, but many of these over-the-counter low-cost turmeric capsules use poor quality turmeric products. They use the raw powder, a form your body can't absorb. So you're popping all these pills and the active compound is just like going right through you. So you think turmeric doesn't work, but really, you just used the wrong form. Mistake number two, you're taking turmeric powder alone. So turmeric powder is poorly absorbed. If all you do is sprinkle turmeric all over your food, your body barely gets any of the active compound because turmeric is poorly absorbed. And while I'm on the turmeric powder, let me mention this because this is actually a big one. I call it the water and spice method. Please listen to this one and listen very closely. As a matter of fact, read my lips. You cannot mix turmeric powder into water and drink it. Please, y'all, repeat after me. You cannot mix turmeric powder into water and drink it. And this is because the active compound, the active ingredient in turmeric, curcumin, is fat soluble. It dissolves in fat. It dissolves in fat. Without it, your body struggles to absorb it. Water just isn't enough. Number three, and yes, you guessed it, the black pepper oversimplification. Thinking black pepper is the magic solution. Yes, I get it. Peppering can boost or it can enhance absorption. But that's not the main thing. Yes, peppering can enhance absorption, but relying on black pepper alone is like putting Band-Aid on the real issue. Yes, peppering, the active compound, the active ingredient in black pepper can enhance absorption, but just sprinkling in a little bit isn't a magic fix. And for some people on some certain medications, those doses, those sprinkles can become problematic because it adds up. And so it's just not the best way. It's not the only way. So if those are the mistakes, because I've gone through three top mistakes most people make when using turmeric, how they make it wrong. If those are the mistakes, what's the secret? So what actually matters for absorption? And here's a secret that most people miss. Turmeric is fat soluble. That means your body absorbs it far better when there's a healthy fat present. This one shift alone makes a massive difference, even more than black pepper. And the secret is not just one single thing. It's a powerful combination of three factors: heat, fat, and synergy. First, fat. This is non-negotiable. Now, remember I mentioned earlier that the active ingredient in turmeric, curcumin, is a fat-soluble compound. So you must pair turmeric with some healthy fats. And we're not talking about a lot of oil here. We're talking about just maybe 1 teaspoon of olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, MCT oil, or even just a full fat coconut milk. So this fat acts like a carrier, taking the curcumin in your system where it can work. Second, heat. This increases the solubility. So gently simmering turmeric, like in a warm soup, it helps to release the active compounds and makes them more available to your body. Third, synergy. Now, this is an advanced hack. I'm giving y'all the tea here, okay? I'm spilling the tea. So in pharmacy, we call this augmentation. As a matter of fact, this is very common. Pharmaceutical companies do this a lot, where they will add one ingredient to a second one to make that drug or the combination much stronger. As a matter of fact, there's a popular old antibiotic called Augmentin. It has a broad spectrum. It covers a wide range of, infections. And that's why they named it Augmentin, because they added two ingredients together to make that final product much stronger than original two separate ingredients. But the synergy that I'm talking about here is actually a tad bit stronger than augmentation. It's a broader, more collaborative concept, because augmentation, we can say, okay, black pepper augments turmeric. We're taking one thing to directly enhance the effectiveness of another. It's kind of like a one-way boost. But with synergy, this is a broader, a more collaborative concept. This is when two or more things work together to create a combined effect that's greater than the sum of their individual parts. So, for instance, we can add ginger, turmeric, and black pepper together. Okay, don't even let me use black pepper in that example. Let me keep black pepper to my augmentation example, because black pepper is a very good example of when we say augmentation. We're using black pepper to augment turmeric. So that is a good example of augmentation. But when I'm talking about synergy, I'm talking about maybe adding ginger and cinnamon to turmeric. So those are now three herbs. So in that instance, we wouldn't be talking about augmentation. We will be talking about a synergistic effect, because each of those items, cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric, they have their own distinct action that they do in the body. So when you add them all together, turmeric is going to go in the body, do its own. Ginger is going to go do its own. Cinnamon is going to go, do its own. But together, they create an effect in your body that has a bigger impact than using, those individual herbs separately. So together, that combo of three herbs, it creates a more comprehensive health impact than any one of them could alone. And okay, so something just came to my head right now and I can't shake it off. I just have to say it because I'm impulsive like that sometimes. So when it comes to augmentation, I mentioned that pharmaceutical companies do it a lot, but augmentation is actually very common in the medical world, because reconstructive surgeons also use the word augmentation a lot. For example, breast augmentations. And I know they don't even call it the breast augmentations. That's the formal name for breast lift, boob jobs, etc. I don't know, but I just have to throw that in. So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Now I forgot what I was saying. Okay, let me get back to what I was talking about. I was talking about synergy. So synergy is actually a key principle in naturopathic medicine. And I talk about synergy a lot. Even when I explain how to use soursop correctly, I talk about other things to pair along with soursop to give it a synergistic effect. And that's also one of the core underlying principles behind the herbal formulations that I make for majority of my clients. So when we're talking about synergy, especially for turmeric, one of the first things you want to think about is ginger. I mean, you're adding a complementary herb to turmeric. So synergy is, especially with turmeric, synergy is combining turmeric with other complementary ingredients that creates a far greater effect than turmeric by itself. So think of herbs like ginger. This is by far like the number one thing I would think to add to turmeric, especially for digestive issues. And it doesn't have to be a lot. You are just talking about just a few slices of a few slices of ginger root added to your turmeric. It's really good for digestion. Ginger by itself is also a powerful anti-inflammatory herb compound. So adding both of those together also creates for a much stronger anti-inflammatory compound between the turmeric and the ginger. Turmeric, as we all know it, is also highly anti-inflammatory. Another herb that can be combined with turmeric to give it a synergistic effect is cinnamon. And I'm talking about Ceylon cinnamon. So you can add Ceylon cinnamon to turmeric, especially for blood sugar support. Another herb you can add is ashwagandha. Now, this one is more for stress to help reduce cortisol levels. So this one is more on the level of like calming, some evening calming drink. A fourth herb you can add is boswellia. Now, these will be for people that are suffering from things like joint pain, arthritis. This is because boswellia is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds for joint and connective health. So for people suffering from joint pains, arthritis, and things like that, the combination of boswellia and turmeric would be very good for pain relief, joint relief, arthritis, and things along that line. Now, let me come back to my original point when I mentioned that there's a powerful combination of 3 factors that will help transform your mere teaspoon of turmeric into this therapeutic giant. And those 3 factors are fat, heat, and synergy. This is the ultimate trifecta. These 3 factors would literally make your teaspoon of turmeric powder into a real therapeutic giant. So the next time you're taking turmeric, you need to remember this holy trifecta. Fat, completely non-negotiable. And fat is the most crucial step because the fat acts as a carrier. 2, heat. And the third is synergy. Okay, so I know some of you are asking me right now, can I just take my cheap capsule with a teaspoon of oil and just call it a day? I know some of you all are asking that question. So, yeah, I'm sure you know the answer. The answer is no, you can't, because it's significantly going to be less effective still, because that capsule is made with cheap raw ingredients. Is made with cheap raw powder. And some of you also are asking, well, I already have the powder. Can I not use that? Do I have to buy an expensive supplement? So for those of you that already have the powder, the answer is no, you don't have to buy an expensive supplement. You can use the powder you have. However, you have to do it correctly. You have to use it correctly. And remember, fat is the number 1 thing you're looking for. The number 2 thing you're looking for is heat. And of course, synergy always helps. So in that instance, if you have the powder, and we're talking about good quality powder here, okay? So if you have the powder, there's so many recipes I have in several of my ebooks. So if you look online, you can look for the recipes of golden milk. So many recipes for golden milk. So yes, you can use your powder. You don't have to buy an expensive supplement. You only have to make sure that you're using high quality powder and you're making it correctly. And the definition of making it correctly is simply adding the powder to something like coconut milk, heating it up on the stove, and adding a booster to it. And no, the booster doesn't only have to be black pepper. Black pepper is not the only thing you can put to aid or enhance the absorption of turmeric. Did you know that you can use quercetin as a booster, which is commonly found in onions? Did you know that you can also use bromelain as a booster? Bromelain is the enzyme found in pineapples. So there's so many options besides, what you see online all the time, like black pepper. Black pepper is not the only thing because honestly, some people do have problems with black pepper. Black pepper can be problematic for some people. And for those of you that do have the supplement, I hope you did buy the expensive supplements. I hope you did buy the advanced high absorption supplement. So people turn to turmeric because they're tired of inflammation, joint stiffness, everyday aches and pain, poor digestion, feeling run down. And people are tired of taking so many medications for pain. And, as most of you know, especially for the people that take narcotics for pain, that also comes with its own set of side effects, constipation being one of the major side effects of narcotic medications. So these are some of the reasons why people turn to something very available and relatively inexpensive like turmeric. And turmeric is relatively safe. Majority of people can take turmeric without problems, but caution still has to be exercised. We're still talking about something that still has an effect on the body. So caution still needs to be exercised, and use it carefully if perhaps you have low blood pressure, gallbladder issues, perhaps you're preparing for surgery, or even if you are on blood thinners, if you're extremely sensitive to spices. So natural doesn't mean casual. It means you need to use it with awareness because there's so many nuances when it comes to majority of all these herbs. So if you want a full breakdown of how to use herbs safely and correctly along with medications, or how to build a real anti-inflammatory routine, let me know in the comments. And also, if you found this video valuable, please hit the like button and then share the video with other people you know might be valuable to them. So now let's put it all together. For those of you who have the turmeric powder at home, I've already told you, you need fat, heat, and synergy. The easiest way to use your turmeric powder effectively, so the easiest way and the most effective way to use your turmeric powder is to use the golden milk recipe. And I have this recipe in my seasonal ebook in the link in the description below. You can also find the golden recipe online. For those of you who have the capsules, now I can only pray that it's not the cheap version you have, because if it's the cheap version you have, I'm sorry, can't help you. When you want to buy your feature supplements, you want to look for things like high absorption, because that means they've already solved that absorption problem for you. That means that their formulation they've gone through advanced technologies to come about that formulation, which means that the absorption problem has been solved for you. You don't have to worry about sprinkling it with pepper and fat and all that. Their formulation already comes in a mode that's delivering the curcumin in an active way to you. So if any of these secrets has made a light bulb go off for you, and you're ready to stop taking turmeric the wrong way and start doing it right, let me know by hitting the like button, and let me also know in the comments below. And of course, share this with anyone you know who's taking turmeric. For more practical, no-nonsense guides to using nature's medicine, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. See you in the next video.